War for the Planet of the Apes was the latest sequel to the Planet of the Apes franchise, and it basically tells the story of Caesar and the other apes and stuff like that. After they go through like tragic and dramatic losses that happened in their group of apes and the families and stuff like that, Caesar starts to go for vengeance and stuff like that. Starts to like, get in his dark territory, and he has to sort of go after the humans and stuff like that. And Caesar starts to enter his dark instincts and stuff like that, and starts to go on this quest to avenge his kind from these humans. I'm happy to say that War for the Planet of the Apes is one of the best modern day films of all time. This is an amazing sequel with a lot to say. This film is not just an action film that everyone can enjoy. If you do think very hard about it, this film does connect with our present day situations and stuff like that. This film actually has messages. It has heart and messages on what one would do if he lost someone he loved. From a visual effect standpoint, this movie looks astounding. The CGI in this movie looks terrific. There was not a single thing in this movie that I saw and looked like, oh, that's total CGI. I want to look at CGI and look at it like it's something real. All of the apes in this movie, and even the background scenery sometimes, that were CGI and stuff like that, it looked beautiful. It looked like I could actually like reach for these apes and touch their fur and stuff like that. It's such an amazing feeling, and I am so surprised on how much CGI they actually were able to put into this movie. It looks astonishing. Now let's talk about the character of Caesar. I love this character. He's in basically the Planet of the Apes franchise. Basically, Caesar is a really great character in this film, and you can tell he's trying so hard to avenge his kind. And I even picked up in the beginning of the movie, spoilers if no one's ever seen this movie, that Caesar even said to the humans that they could surrender and everything will be perfectly fine. But the humans didn't surrender, and they killed Caesar's wife and his other son. One of the things that I love about the War for the Planet of the Apes, or some of the other Planet of the Apes movies, is that there really isn't any use of dialogue for some of these apes and stuff like that. Like, every time these apes say something or stuff like that, there's words written at the bottom, and you can tell what they're saying, and it just gets you hooked into this entire film. And I think that's what makes the experience of this film better. I love how they didn't just add dialogue to every single ape in this film and stuff like that. That's clever writing. It really is. And there are not really a lot of films that'll do that, that'll do captions in their movies and stuff like that. I think caption movies are really a great experience. There's also some fantastic use of action scenes and stuff like that. But one of the things that really does work about this movie, and it's actually a scene that happens in this movie, where Caesar and the apes find this young girl. I forgot her. They explain her name They explain her name near the ending of the movie or something like that. I forgot what her name was, but you can tell that just looking at this girl, she's basically hopeless. And the connection with her and the apes is such a charming feeling in this movie. My heart grew 10 times that day when I saw that, and it's just such a great feeling. It was so charming. It was so charming, and the fact that this character didn't have any dialogue too, but you can tell what she was saying sometimes if she tried to say something or tried to do expressions and stuff like that. You can tell how this character was feeling, and I love those kind of feelings in movies like that. There's not really any dialogue, but you could still feel and you know what these characters are trying to do or say and stuff like that. It's such great writing. But the scene that got me the most in this film is probably the scene where Donkey, if you've seen War for the Planet of the Apes, then you know what I'm talking about. The scene where they mention Donkey, who's the bad ape. Apparently, he works for these humans and stuff like that, and you basically know that he's bad from the start. But as it gets to that part, somewhere near like the ending where they're about to like kill off Caesar and stuff like that, you can tell that Donkey has sympathy for these apes and he's trying to help out and stuff like that. And something really insane happens, which I'm not really gonna say, just in case if there are people who are out there who haven't seen this film. I'm not gonna say what happens, but it got me really bad and I almost cried. I really wanted to, but it was such great, and I think the character of Donkey is interesting because you could tell that he's a bad ape and stuff like that. But I knew somewhere around that point that he would have feelings for these other apes because he basically is an ape. He's not really one of the humans if you think about it. I mean, there are like similarities between the two of the species and stuff like that, but he's basically one of them, and I'm glad that he got to see that. Another thing that I found really relevant and fascinating about War for the Planet of the Apes is that it connects with some things with our real world, some past events and stuff like that, like slavery, war and violence and vengeance and stuff like that. And then you watch this movie and you feel, wow, that's some pretty messed up crap. Which brings me to the conversation scene between Caesar and the colonel. That scene is speechless. It is totally insane. The colonel gives in-depth detail about his past and stuff like that, explains to Caesar, and you can see the look on Caesar's face. He is just shocked and stuff like that. The use of dialogue in that conversation is on spot. It is flawless. The use of dialogue in that conversation that Caesar and the colonel are having is fantastic. You can tell that Caesar was trying to talk the colonel out of harming these apes and stuff like that. He never really wanted to try to kill the colonel, even though he went after his wife and son. It is fantastic how so much use of writing can be put into one conversation, and this is, in my opinion, one of the best, like, protagonist / antagonist conversations in any movie. The scene is dark, it's insane, and it's totally messed up between the apes and the colonel's past. And one of the things that I loved about this movie is, like I mentioned again, the character of Caesar. You can tell that this character is not just a hero that everyone can love because he is a hero. This ape tried so hard to not only fight for the loved ones that he lost, but his entire kind. And you can tell that he's struggling to try to help his kind. And even though this entire film is filled with apes and humans, these apes actually have fantastic characterization. Even though they don't speak through dialogue and there's and they speak through like captions and stuff like that, these apes actually are characters. They feel like actual like animal characters in some sort of weird way, but like trapped in war and stuff like that against these humans and stuff like that. Fantastic characterization. Fantastic. And like I mentioned, this movie looks fantastic. The CGI looks groundbreaking. The direction in this movie is absolutely amazing. And the editing, along with the music and the score and stuff like that, and the action scenes is so well utilized. War for the Planet of the Apes is possibly the best Planet of the Apes movie, possibly the best Planet of the Apes movie, if not the best Planet of the Apes sequel. And in my opinion, it's one of the best modern day films of all time, and it's one of my all-time favorite films. And honestly, there's not really any question about this film. War for the Planet of the Apes gets an A+. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. Thank you guys so much also for 371 subscribers. I'm literally 29 subscribers away from 400. Do you guys know how much that means to me? Without you guys, I probably wouldn't even be here. You guys are the best. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You guys are amazing. And thank you guys so much for watching all my content, including my movie reviews and stuff like that. You guys are the best. I love every single one of you, and you guys rock. All of you. All of my 371 subscribers, just know that. Each and every one of you are amazing. And I'm going to keep on saying that, because you guys show support to me, I'm going to show support to you back. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this movie review. Look forward to more movie reviews and more content that I'll be making on my channel. And thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, I am MarioFan528, and I will see you next time. Peace out.